Welcome to another episode of the Angels Positivity and Love Show. Incredible guests the world over with amazing insights, experience, and most importantly, a high vibe, high frequency, big hearts that they're sharing with all of us. Most of our guests are giving service to others today, coming to us from New Jersey, no exception. Long-time intuitive veteran, loves helping people out, shifting her business model a little bit for 2026 and beyond. Karen Noe, psychic medium, spiritual counselor, basically can help anybody with any situation. She's very good at listening, very good at holding the space. And again, she's been around the block. I love interacting with her. Karen, great to see you again. Great to have you back on.
Thank you for having me back on. So much fun.
Always. And as seasoned veteran intuitives go, or healers, or whatever nomenclature we use, you are one of them on the landscape in America and probably worldwide. Let's go for the billion-dollar question first. What's going on with mankind, consciousness? Are we all ready for a little bit more compassion, kindness, gentleness? And are you sure?
Absolutely, we're ready for this. People have to listen to who they really are, their love and peace. And this is what's needed now. Instead of fighting against, we have to concentrate on peace and love and focus on what we want, which is unity and love. So, yeah, we're ready. I don't know if everybody's ready, but I am. And that's pretty much why I am going to be on hiatus in January to focus on raising the vibration of the world more on par with who they really are, which is God within us.
And I should add that you're also just you're shifting your model a little less one-on-one or a lot less one-on-one to more groups and stuff like that. It's not like you're getting out of the business.
Correct. I'll still be doing workshops and writing books and so forth. So, yes.
Okay, now we're going to put you to work here because angels once said there's no such thing as right or wrong, there's proper understanding. And so when folks are absolutely convinced they're right, we could be talking politics, just NFL football, fantasy football, my team, not your team. Uh, how is that a great reminder? And then what is it a reminder of? And what are we talking about again? How do we get to our hearts more daily? I only gave you another one of those million-dollar questions.
We have to remember that we're all one and the other person is really us. We have to just try to see through their eyes and understand why they are saying, what they're for. Instead of bashing them and being angry, that doesn't help anything. We have to try to see through their eyes. And doesn't mean we have to agree, but it does mean not to fight against because that never works.
The golden rule, or regard others as yourself generously and without
Fun.
fixation. I love that. When did you first learn that?
I've always known it, but right after Dr. Wayne Dyer passed, he came through singularly for his family, and he has 8 children and a wife. And he also came through as a group consciousness called the We Guides,
Mm.
which incorporated, a lot of ascended masters, angels, saints, Wayne Dyer, St. Francis of Assisi, and so forth. And they channeled 33 concepts of inner and outer peace. And basically, what they were talking about is the we consciousness, that we are all one. And whatever we do to ourselves or another affects everyone.
Mm.
And
And if
and people say, well, what can I do on this planet right now? So much is going on. I'm just one person. But if you understand that we are all one and you raise your vibration to be more loving and positive, you're raising the vibration of the planet. So you're doing a great service for mankind and for yourself as well.
what have you noticed lately that's different?
People are starting to remember who they are, I think, and they're trying, people who were not speaking up beforehand for others are starting to speak up now. And I always tell them we have meetings here, a lot of free meditations and classes. What can we do? So we could speak up for others, like the poor or whatever it is, without attacking someone else. We just have to see, what can I do? Okay, there's no more food stamps. What can I do? Let's hold a food drive or something like this. So we can focus on that. More people are coming to these types of classes. A lot of people are coming to these types of classes. And I was just asked by Omega. I always teach there at the Omega Institute for many years, three times a year, 3 different workshops. And I just got an email right before this interview to do a workshop about oneness. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Talk to us a little bit about there's Esther Hicks out there who's been for a long time kind of blazing her own trail. There's others out there who do group uh, sessions and stuff like that. Where could you see yourself going or evolving into with more work at a group level?
You mean as the group consciousness the we guides? Is that what
Yes,
you're?
or working with larger groups of people.
Oh, I would absolutely. The more, how may I serve more? I always ask in the morning, how may I serve? How may I serve more? Because I'm already serving. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are serving, but how may I serve more? So I'm always looking for the greater, more people and so forth.
Can you share with us a time that the universe fully stepped in? It could have been the flat tire, it could have been dream time, it was an angel, maybe a relative, but a sparkly eyed stranger maybe said kind words to you, just what you needed to hear, what you were maybe saying the day before or an hour earlier. Did you have a moment where the universe directly stepped in? And even today, you look back and you're like, wow, that was a moment.
There is, now you're taping this.
Yes,
You could delete this if you desire. Okay. Oh.
go for it.
So I always, as we were talking about before, trying to focus on creating more love and peace on the planet. And the No Kings rally showed up.
Mm,
Can we talk about this or?
sure, sure.
Okay, so I'll start now. You
Okay.
could delete that, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Oh no, go ahead. You can talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not against anyone or anything, but I am for love and peace. And I said, well, what should I do? And they told me to be a part of the No Kings gathering. I have a center in New Jersey, in Waldwick. And I said, but I don't want people to think I'm against anyone or against anything, but I want to stand up for love and for democracy. Can I do this? So I said, I just felt compelled to do this at my center starting off. I thought maybe I could have maybe 20 people would sign up for it. 2,000 people showed up
Oh my
and we
goodness.
were so many blocks away. And I said, this is what we must do for love, not attacking anyone or anything, making sure we're talking about what we want, we're for the democracy, and so forth. It was the most amazing thing. I've received emails, I'm still receiving emails on how loving and positive it was. And I have one story that what you were asking about that it shows you everything that I was standing for, and the angels were intervened for this love and light. So we had 2,000 people, about maybe more, because people brought people and so forth. And there were maybe six people on the other side against what we were saying, which was cool. And they're entitled, and I want to hear what other people are saying. So there was a gentleman on the other side of the street, shouting back and forth. And one of our listeners and I keep saying, love, love, love. So they interacted with each other. And so the one on our side on for love and peace and No Kings rally started to talk to the other person and said, what are you for? And they started to talk. And what happened was the person that was fighting against us
Mm,
took the person's sign and put it in front of him because it was all about love and all about peace.
mm.
And he said, you know what? We really are all one. And the other person said, yes. So in a nutshell, we're not against anyone or anything. I am for love and peace, and I'm sure that's what everyone here is for too.
Mm.
And let's show it. Let's show them what peace is all about. Let's show them what love is all about.
I love it. One plus one equals 11. And if you judge people, you have no time to love them. I think that was Mother Teresa. And we can put her photo up later and
Yeah,
Wayne Dyer and maybe have them come in. But let's also ask you this. So we know angels exist, and this is going to make you laugh. Do angels exist?
of course.
Okay, how do you know? And what was that one time that an angel showed up, either a dream time, on a street somewhere, or just sort of semi showing up? I don't know how to say it right now. Semi transparent. Can you share one angel encounter?
Yes, I would. Can I share St. Francis?
Yes, please.
So I was going through a very difficult time in my life about 25 years ago, and I just sat at the edge of my bed and I yelled at God and I said, "Am I going to be okay?" And with that, I saw a light that came towards me from the other side of the room. And as it was coming towards me, I said, "If you're not of God, please leave." Now I know, of course, everything is of God. But what I meant was, if you're not of the light, if you don't mean me well, please leave. The more I said that, the more it continued to come towards me and eventually enveloped me. And I felt the most incredible peace that I had ever felt before or since. And at that time, I heard a voice that said, "Luce Lucina, Bella Luce Lucina." And for those Italian listeners, they know what that means. They know what that means. It means light, beautiful little light. And since that time, I have felt St. Francis. He doesn't want to even be called St. Francis, Francesco, who's been with me on my search for peace and love. And how I always say, "How may I serve?" And I always feel Francesco with me, guiding and protecting me and the planet as well.
Do you mind if we have you turn on all your super skills right now? Could you close your eyes, put a hand out to the side off camera, and just have them hold your hand? It might be, if you want to put both hands out, like off camera. Wayne Dyer could be stepping in for the other hand. You might have a little tussle because it's going to be like, who can hold your hand faster? It might be Archangel Michael. Just allow your hands to get held. And if you want to get a full-on human experience, you could do it. But could you have Francesco or St. Francis pass on one more reminder for us all today? And it may be somebody else stepping in, but whoever comes in,
Yeah, to always try to see through the other person's eyes. You may not understand them, but after you leave the physical body, you're going to go through a life review where you're able to see and feel how this other person, how you've affected the other person. So why do you have to wait until then? Do it
so
now. Try
let's
forgive those who hurt you. Ask for forgiveness who you have hurt as well. Treat yourself with the respect that you deserve. And tell your loved ones how much they mean to you right now before it's too late.
I love it. And before I'd mentioned there's no right and wrong. There's proper understanding, and that doesn't mean you can't win in a court case or you can't win in a trivia quiz or something like that. But let's do this. There's a way that if people are at the right and wrong level of consciousness. There's a way, if you're going to be at that level of consciousness, there's a way to do it with, we'll call it class, or a way to do it with love, or a way to do it in your heart with a little bit of style that brings a smile to your opponent's face, that's gracious. Can we talk a little bit more about that? It doesn't have to be about any particular details or politics, but just how is being in the heart the most important thing?
Everything's about love, trying to see through the eyes of God, trying to see through the eyes of love. And if you need, it doesn't mean not to speak up. You could speak up in a positive way. If you see there are poor people who are not receiving their food stamps, to say this is not right, and let's do something about it. What can we do about this? And take a I don't know, collect money, do whatever it takes. But you don't have to sit back. As a matter of fact, don't sit back and say nothing. Say something in a loving, positive way. Don't attack anyone because that's not going to go anywhere. So
It takes a lot of horsepower up here, but a lot of horsepower here to
if you
be at
don't speak
peace and
up,
pull it
who's
off.
going
Yeah.
to?
Yes.
Nobody. So we can't say, "Oh, yes, that person is," nobody's saying anything about that. And I'm not going to either. We could speak up in a kind way.
And can we have you just bring in some archangels? Do you mind just going still again and listening? But for the big picture for mankind, we had asked earlier, are we ready for mankind? Is mankind ready for more compassion, kindness, gentleness? Can you tap into that and just hear how there is a bigger plan? Trust in it, know that you're protected, and something like that, so that no matter how much tumultuousness there is on the planet, whatever the word is, confusion, waves, it's going to be okay. Can you give us something where you're
Absolutely.
tuning in that
Starting
way?
today, starting today, I don't know when this will be aired, but starting November 11th, I don't know, that was yesterday. Um, the angels have upped the volume of love and compassion in the world. Whoever's ready to receive, they're receiving it for the next 5 years. It's going to be like what it would take lifetimes to create. It's happening now in the next 5 years. So just be ready for this. I'm ready. I don't know about you, but it's
Uh,
coming. It's here.
And I'm going to ask a hard question, and I'm going to put up a photo of Archangel Michael in light energy form. But just there are people who are doing less than love and pretty good at it. And so there are still consequences for actions and stuff like that. But do we have to worry about that much? It's still what you said earlier, be aware,
No,
speak up. But what does
we
Archangel
don't.
Michael say about those folks?
We're not going to pay attention to those folks because the more we pay attention to them, the more we're creating more of the same. So we're going to take our focus off of that and focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. Focus on solutions rather than on the problems. Because the law of attraction says, and we know this, our minds are like magnet. Whatever we're focusing upon grows. So don't focus upon those guys. Speak up for what you want. Peace, love, unity, oneness, and do a lot of it.
So
And when
where
you
you
turn on the light, the darkness goes away.
So where you put your focus is where you put your focus. How you spend your energy is how you spend it. And could you keep going with that? How can we more like daily or weekly pay attention more and flow more love? Could you give us some practical, tactical examples?
Yeah, you're going to focus on, you can monitor every single thought in your head because your thoughts are going a mile a minute. So you're going to focusing on how you feel. And if you feel anything but love, you're thinking negative thoughts. So what you're going to do is, okay, I feel angry now. What was I focusing upon? I was watching the news. I was focusing upon what was wrong, what is wrong. I'm going to change the subject now. I'm going to focus what I want instead. So you focus on your emotions, focusing on how you're feeling. Don't think about, I'm telling you, it really does work. It changes everything. And it doesn't mean to bury your head in the sand. It means to focus in a different direction, to focus on the love. And there's plenty of love on this planet right now.
Which loving figure in your cheerleading squad, your support group that's on the other side or with us, interdimensional living within us and around us. Which figure lately has been the most fun for you? Who's come in really strong? Maybe it's a surprise angel. Who have you absolutely enjoyed interacting with the most lately? You're not insulting anybody else, but who is that?
Well, it's St. Francis, Francesco. It's just, he's there all the time. He's there all the time. And I'm just so thrilled. See, some things that are coming into my thought process. This is the way they speak to us. They speak to us telepathically. Oftentimes, a thought pops in your head for no reason. And all of a sudden, I'm guided, okay, do children's books, children's books. I've never done that before. And then all this information is coming to me. All right, do this, and then there'll be a series of these types of books. So I'm looking forward to that and working on that when I'm on hiatus.
Good. Okay, talk to us about your skills and how they've evolved over time. Was there a point where you were seeing auras on everything and everyone, trees, dogs, people, and you were like, make it stop? Could you find a way to describe the evolution of those skills, sensory, feeling, hearing, seeing, or has it all been pretty steady Eddie all along?
I've always been psychic, even as a child. I would dream things before they happened, and my father used to take me to the racetrack, and I picked the winning horses for him. Now I'm an animal activist. I don't go to the track. But in the beginning, reluctantly, I had that experience with St. Francis. And right after that, I started feeling angels and deceased loved ones. And whenever I shared the messages with people in the beginning, it was just I'd be on the soccer field watching my son play soccer, and somebody's Aunt Margie came through with messages for the person who was sitting next to me. Um, and gradually, it evolved to more people wanted that. I love connecting with angels. So what happened in the beginning was deceased loved ones, and it happened more and more and more and more that I eventually was booked 2 years ahead of time for 25 years. Now, I want to work with angels rather than deceased loved ones. And I don't mean, I love working with deceased loved ones, but I feel guided to work with the angels to uplift mankind and so forth. So that's on pause for now. And
I love it.
I feel it amping up my energy as well.
Well, I'll put up a few photos of angels. I grabbed a Sure Shot camera maybe, I think it was like 14 years ago or so, and did the old college try thing. And got to see light, but I used to give the camera to folks. And here's the very first angel I love introducing people to, Joy. She's very cosmic. She's the emotion joy. Can you first of all, get a couple whooshes, hugs, whatever you want to call it, lots of light and love, feel it. And then can you get either a topic or something that she would love to share with all of us? And what are you getting?
Well, just as her name states, joy is an extremely important part of our lives, that life is meant to be enjoyed. And we can't give peace and love if we don't have it within ourselves. And it begins with joy, and to focus upon that because we are just as important as everybody else. We're
And
part of the whole. Okay.
I love it. And I'm so in the flow that I'm having trouble speaking right now. So this is awesome. I'm going to put up another angel named Charlotte, and she's everyone's favorite school teacher from third grade. If you're watching from Canada, New Zealand, third form, but not the one who got you in trouble, the nice one. Okay, so here's Charlotte, and she's often comes through more in her 50s, 40s. Looks like Audrey Hepburn's sister, elegant. Uh, get something private from her, get a hug, say got it, and then if you don't mind sharing something from Charlotte to all of us, get something very fun from her. At home, people, you can put your hands out like she's a fireplace, feel the vibe through two screens, no big shakes. And did you already get something from her to share with
Yes.
all of us? What'd you
Yeah.
get?
To be more childlike, to remember when you had fun when you were a child, and to
Beautiful.
do things that make you laugh.
I love it. I'm going to put up Archangel Gabriel one version photo. Here he is. And if you don't mind, either catch some light around the room, get something different. Pie, a type of pie smell in the air, like someone's baking blueberry pies, cherry pies, whatever would be really fun, or some other smell. And you've got two different colors here that if you tune in, maybe you're getting an extra vibe up and down your back. Who knows? What's Gabriel have for all of us? And if you don't mind adding extra flavor, what are you feeling right now? Are you getting anything extra?
Well, I smell pumpkin spice,
I didn't do it. Blame angels. Don't blame Canada. I love this. Thank you, Karen Noe. You're
pumpkin
invited
spice.
back.
And Gabriel is the archangel of communication. And Gabriel is saying to speak your piece, to make sure to speak up for those who cannot.
I have
And that
just a,
includes
oh,
the animals as well.
I love it. Well, I have just a few angels more, but we might sneak in a couple that are animal related. Here's Heather. She makes hearts in her photos. I've got a lot of hearts of her. Um, but she's compassion, and even her name is the word heart rearranged. What are you getting from Heather and more?
To focus, to meditate every day, and when you are meditating, to focus on your heart area, right there in the middle of your chest. That's where, yes, that is where your soul is. That is where love evolves. And you will see when you're meditating and focusing upon your heart area, you'll feel love. It's amazing, but you have to focus and stay there. Um, you'll see what I mean.
I have two more angels. I have a Mac. Don't call her Mackenzie. She's everything plants, animals, and nature. Um, here's Mac. What are you getting from her? And if you don't mind catching a beautiful forest feeling or some other aspect of nature, a waterfall, and you can hear it gurgling.
Mhm. To understand how we are affecting the environment. Every single action that we take is affecting the planet Earth. So to be more aware of that, to eat in a more compassionate way, and that includes being a vegan. I'm a vegan. It doesn't mean you have to. I know not everyone resonates with that, but if you could eat more compassionately and maybe one meal a week, eat a vegan diet. Each time you do that, you will save one animal's life each time you do that. And could you imagine if we all did that? Amazing.
Okay, I'll put up my guardian angel, but Dr. Karen Wyatt was on episode 110, August 30th of 2024. I think she's been on a few times since. This is her guardian angel and maybe 80,000 other people's guardian angel. And she tells the story in that episode of being in bed safely in a safe house, and an angel all in white at the foot of her bed shows up. And from that moment on, at age 8, 9, or 10, whatever age she was, as a little girl, she wanted to be a doctor. And she did. She was a doctor. And now she's a retired physician, but she knew this was her guardian angel, and she got to meet her. Min is all you have to call her. She got to meet her on Redondo Beach as a full-on human for 30 minutes. Here's Min, very oceany, Mother Hawaii if you prefer. Min is the Lakota Sioux word for water. I'm not going to predict this one. What are you getting from Min? And if you don't mind catching some ocean, if you want a little Maui Wowie in the air. And I'll blow through this microphone and make an extra sound so you hear it, but it's really angels. Catch extra love, light, and aloha all over the place. Here it goes.
Okay. Um, she wants to tell everyone that what we think is important, the day-to-day things we have to accomplish really isn't as important as we think they are. The most important thing is to spread the love that you are and to remember that because that's the only thing you take after you leave this physical body and you look back and you say, what did I accomplish? It's the love. That's all it is.
And if it's a volleyball game and I push this volleyball up for her to spike, but it's really you doing the spiking because you got to do the listening here. It's
Mhm.
not up to humans to necessarily fix anything. There's greater flows happening. Can she and you and Archangel Michael, and I'll put up four other archangels, but Michael's in there as well. So it's Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. Can you go into the dynamics and maybe explain more than we need to know? But there's a lot of flows. There's a lot of loving beings involved in planet Earth, our development. Here's four archangels, and Min. Can you get something? I hate to say it. I don't know how to speak right now. Sophisticated to talk about of how this really isn't up to humans to fix anything. Let go and allow more. And what you said, love more.
Yeah. We just have to remember who we are. If we understand that God is within each one of us, if you don't want to call it God, you could call it source, whatever it is. When you realize that God is only love and peace, we just have to remember who we are. And we are all miracle workers. And if we just maintain this high vibration, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix. We just have to remember who we are.
Okay, now I have St. Francis for you. Not that you need a photo of St. Francis, but people should go back if they wish, and they can replay all this and they can do the listening and the feeling on their own. I probably forgot to say that. And I only have one rule. Set your intent, ask angels to get you out of your head into your heart. Own it with a thank you, amen, rock and roll, Sai Ram if you're from India. But just own it like you would for hitting a tennis swing or making a salad you like to make. Here's St. Francis. This is the best I got here. If you don't mind getting something humorous from him for all of us, and what are you getting from him through you to all of us?
Just basically, he's saying if you think you're so smart, the animals are actually much smarter because they live in the moment. They don't focus on, too much on the past and what happened. They're just living in the moment.
Oh, I love that. And yes, animal consciousness is lovely. Love it.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to grab Thich Nhat Hanh for you. I couldn't find Wayne Dyer in time. Here's Thich Nhat Hanh, loving Vietnamese Buddhist monk. And what are you hearing from Thich Nhat Hanh as a reminder for all of us?
Just quiet your thoughts, meditate during the day, be the awareness as we got for you before. You are awareness. Just focus on that, on the person who is thinking. You're not the thinker. Does that make sense?
It does. It
Okay.
does. And I'm still scrambling for one last photo, but it may
Okay.
not happen. Um, we did this last time. We had you connect to Wayne Dyer, and I know you're already fully connected as it is, but I like to put up a photo once in a while, and here he is. Okay, good. I got it. Okay. New topic entirely, new direction. Wayne Dyer's coming in. I mean, he's got so many wonderful quotes, sayings. What are you hearing from him on a new direction here?
Again, he's so excited to tell you that we are all one, and he's actually experiencing that where he is right after he left the physical body. He felt that oneness in an instant, and more people are feeling that. And it's more important now than ever to focus on the love that you are. He came through first, right after he passed, it was 2015, and he foresaw a lot of the things that were going to be happening in the United States and in the planet as well. And now, again.
With your permission, we'll do one interactive, last interactive, or two. Might whoosh a little energy through, but I'll show a little bit of light and go a little wider. It's just seeing auras. We do this on a lot of the shows when I remember. This doesn't take very long, but I get to tell an extra dad joke. And it's Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street. Nobody has to remember the characters, but Bert offers Ernie ice cream. What's Ernie say? Sure, Bert.
Oh,
Okay,
cute.
people can see a little filament of light. And Karen, if you don't mind just saying what color or colors you see, what are you seeing between the two fingers?
I'm seeing purple
Okay, I'll go
and
wider and
greens.
bigger.
Yeah,
Purple and green.
purples and greens.
And what are you seeing now, or what are you getting now?
Just as expanding, it's diffusing, if that makes sense, in the air.
And still the same colors or a little extra of anything?
Oh, it's all different colors now, pinks and all of that. Yeah.
I didn't do it. Blame angels. And universal light. Do you mind putting a hand on your heart and just saying potluck? Um, like pulling a slot machine arm and let the angels bring you something completely different right now. Hand on your heart, just allow angels to come in. It might be one angel, it might be a whole gaggle, it might be the whole collective, your whole cheerleading squad. And if you might be getting whooshed immensely, you might even yawn, tear up, shake. This is shake and bake time. What are you getting, Karen, right now on a spontaneous Crazy Ivan or Chinese fire drill at the red light where everybody changes places in the hot rod in the 1950s? What did you get right now?
To tell people that if they realize that they're not alone, all of these angels are with all of us. You would ne you if you understood who was with you, you would never be afraid again.
Hmm. And you also wouldn't worry so much, right? About
That's right.
anything.
That's right.
Trust more, think less, smile more, worry less. I could keep going on. These are a lot of the answers I've gotten for 15 years um, as reminders, sprinkled in with a little more detail on different stuff. But I'm going to put up actually one more photo and then one more interactive, and then we're going to have you start to close it out. I'd love to have you give us a mantra to buy you a little time. You're going to repeat the mantra 3 times for us to feel your vibration, but hopefully not one of your top three. Something entirely new for a mantra. It could be just love more and allow more. It could be anything. Who did I say? Geronimo. So this is an older picture of Geronimo, and he is action, dry wit, humor, unconditional love. A real softy though, kitten in the heart. I love him. Um, you might feel him extra, and if you don't mind connecting for a little bit, you might get a tobacco smell, sage, sweetgrass, desert pinon in the air, pine, cedar, juniper, Douglas fir. What are you catching in the air around you?
I'm smelling like a smoke, like sage.
Yay. Okay, what's he have? Get something private from him to use so you go, oh, nice. And then if you could, a reminder for all of us on our daily path.
Grant us a pure heart. He's granting us a pure heart.
Okay, last interactive anything. And this is just to distract. Okay,
Okay.
so I'm going to put my hand up in Texas. You're in New Jersey. I used to live in New Jersey for, I'm not going to say 20 years, but I was in Weehawken on the cliff facing Manhattan. I did the Manhattan thing, the rat race, the rest. I had fun. Do you mind putting your hand up in New Jersey? Feel my vibe, whatever's coming through. Only love and above. We're chaperoned by angels here. What are you feeling for energy trickle or energy flow?
Lots of love.
Thank you. You're invited back. Okay. Now I'm going to whoosh once, twice, or something like that. Catch what you can catch. And if you could allow for more each time. How about them apples?
Lot of love.
Okay. And we're going to do extra. Let's have Wayne, Michael, the whole kit and caboodle, everybody pile on more love.
Whoa. That was, wow.
Did you get extra?
Yes.
I didn't do it. We're going to blame angels. I will,
That was
for an explanation, can Michael just add in some human words to put some description? Like what just happened so the viewer who's trying to follow this, what do you and Michael say about all that just now?
I just felt, what did I feel? I felt like a surge of energy, like pushing, pushing, and my ears rang. So
Oh.
when the angels speak to us, they often speak to us on a higher frequency and make my ears ring. So
They
great.
I love running and I've been running I think what am I 57 so 43 years since I was 14 at Andover up in New England. I started running, but I did the Boston Marathon around I think it was 2000 and I was sick. And I knew it wasn't sick where you couldn't run it, but it was sick where you're not going past the halfway point. You have to be smart and drop out. I did it on the plane ride back on JetBlue back to Texas. It was the first time I ever saw auras on every other person. I don't know why it was every other, but I also had ear pressure when I got off the plane. I was starting to pop. Or it might have been 2011. Sorry about that. I had ear pressure that stayed with me like I was on the plane, but I think either one or two ears, it was really angels the whole time. As soon as I got to this really cool ENT, it disappeared. And I had the hearing of a wolf or whatever they said. They were like, yeah, you got nothing. The second I got back in the car out of the facility, it came right back. So it
Wow.
was hilarious. And so the ear pressure thing or reminders are high pitched. Sometimes I get a high pitched or just one ear, not the other. Yeah. And
Mhm.
that doctor was fantastic. He's an ENT who has a cousin who runs in one of the running groups in Austin. He drew a map of his two parents being in a facility. It was like the movie The Notebook. Um, I think it was the woman, his mom, who had a brain condition. She couldn't recognize or remember anybody. Let's call it Alzheimer's. But before she was going to pass, she woke up and got her memory, or it was the other way around, the dad. And the dad found her in the facility, should have had no way of knowing she was going to pass, of knowing anything. He got his consciousness back in time to go hold her hand as she passed. This is a doctor taking time out to draw me a map of all this. I turned to him and I was like, 1 in a million? He said, no, like 1 in 1,000, meaning it was meant to be. And that was another part of that visit that I'm still will never forget. I might not have told it right, but
That's
okay.
beautiful.
With that, can you go big picture for us? And you've already been doing big picture the whole time, but it's like Swingers, the movie, your money and you don't even know it. There's that expression. If anybody's seen that independent film, everyone is super special, unique frequency on a unique life path that can get dusted off anytime. We do our best not to pay attention by being up here. My problem is, my situation is, or I'm against this, I'm for this, whatever. Um, can you say it a different way one more time on how we can slow down more and everything we need to really know will come right to us?
Well, if our thoughts create our reality and our thoughts are going a mile a minute, just you can imagine what we're creating in our life and in the world around us. So it's really important to take the time to meditate every day, to focus, to slow down your thoughts. You know who's great is Eckhart Tolle,
Mhm.
his book, The Power of Now. I've listened to that book on Audible a number of times because, even me, I'm thinking. And I'm like, okay, just have to slow down your thoughts because that's when you remember. If your thoughts are going a mile a minute, you can't hear the angels, you can't feel them. So definitely take the time, slow down, and you will feel them.
We're going to have you do a mantra for us, hopefully a fresh one for us that you're going to repeat 3 times, and I'll buy you time. Remember to remember if you can remember to remember when you remember. That's what you were just saying. That's my spin on it. But Songyal Rinpoche said, remember to remember. I've been teaching it for 35 years. A book fell off a bookshelf in Texas. No one was around, and it opened to this page. He did a forward for some Tibetan book of dying, and then there's only probably one of those that he did. There's a lot of Tibetan book of dying, and I saw a page and a half forward for someone else's book, and he said, "For 35 years, I've been teaching my students remember to remember." And I was like, "Oh, there's not a single thing I say that's original. It's all angels." Okay, I bought you as much time as I could. Are you ready for your mantra? You're going to repeat it 3 times, Karen Noe in New Jersey. What do you have for us?
I'm going to go with what I got when I saw the Native American. Who was that?
Oh,
That was,
Geronimo. And I'm going to just stick his photo up one more
yep,
time.
Geronimo. Grant me a pure heart, oh God. And Edgar Cayce used to use um, that mantra as well.
Do you mind saying it 3 times?
Grant me a pure heart, oh God. Grant me a pure heart, oh God. Grant me a pure heart, oh God.
Thank you very much, Karen. Wonderful having you here. If someone wanted to get a little bit of assistance in slowing down or joining a group where they might be able to participate and have you do what you do, um, listening, we'll call it to the other side, angels, loved ones, and so on. What are the different ways they can interact with your website, you, workshops, and so on?
So the next year, I'll be also teaching at various workshops, Kripalu, Omega, the ARE, and so forth. You could find that information on my website at karennoe.com. That's KarenNoe.com.
I love it. Great seeing you again. Thank you for being a guest on the show.
Thank you.